I'm above average in height. I'm above average in weight. Above average in strength. I'm above average in entrepreneurism. Stuff like that. So,
100%. Why wouldn't you? I said.
Love you guys. Peace. Hello. Welcome back, guys. We are back for another episode of Rich from the Net, the Christmas episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's just get into it. We got some housekeeping to do. I think it's long overdue. First off, I'd like to welcome you guys to the end of 2020. I know it's been a long haul, and thank you guys for watching. The views have been down, but my spirits have been up. I just want to say thank you guys so much. Thanks to all my guests. Thanks to all the listeners. Thanks for everyone who gave their constructive criticism, who gave their deconstructive criticism. Thanks for everything that you guys have put forth towards this podcast. I really enjoyed doing it, and I'm super excited to pump out the last few episodes of season 1 so I can get cracking on season 2. Season 2 is going to be a whole different vibe. It's going to be, basically, it's going to be more tech-oriented, more put together, more thought going into it. My whole plan in the beginning was to basically, kind of half-assed my way through it until it started working out like a well-oiled machine. I have come to realize that's never how anything is going to work. You just quite simply can't do that in general. So, as for this podcast, I am slowly but surely getting more engineer-minded, more content creative, and I'm just going to be pumping out better and better episodes. I have a few ideas that I've been tossing around here and there, so I'm excited. Let me do a few things here. We have some sponsors, and I haven't been doing any sponsorships lately, any ads I meant, just because quite honestly, I've been, like I said, I was half-assing things. I wasn't getting around to it. I was not even taking the time, the care of anything like that. I was just, slapping together fucking podcasts and, sleepwalk. I was out to lunch. I was fucking out to lunch doing this shit, But that's not gonna happen anymore. I was sleepwalking, dude. I really think I was like being a fucking jackass about it. That's not right to the listeners. I mean, I have 33 listeners now, and I'm completely grateful for all of them. And I want to get those numbers up. So let me start off with giving you guys some ads here. I don't think that'll help you guys per se, but it'll help me. So, what's good for the geese is good for the gander. So, first on the docket, we have the lovebracelet.org. It is a domestic violence bracelet charity. So what you want to do here is take a look on their website, purchase a bracelet, use the promo code RICHFROMTHENET, and every month they pick a new charity to donate to for domestic violence. It's a his and hers type deal. So when you go on, you pick the one you want. You get 2 bracelets for the price of one, and it's going to a good cause. So I don't know exactly how much they donate to, how much of a percentage they donate to various domestic violence causes, but it's a good cause. It's pretty cool bracelets. Very like retro. If you're like a hipster, it's like your type of vibe. Like if you like rocking like funky bracelets and like almost like hipstery like auras and Sedona and like crystals. If you're a witch doctor, it's for you. So please go donate or at least buy a bracelet. That's what I ask of you. The more times you use my promo code, the better stats I can get, and I can use that analysis for my next advertisers and be like, hey, look, this is what I'm getting out of this advertisement. You need to pay me such, because it just gives me good analytics. Next on the docket, we have a promotion of a individual. He's not paying me, and I had connected with him via Instagram. We had a very pleasant exchange back and forth on Instagram, talking about various motivational and mindset techniques that we're using, that we're going through. His name is Jonathan Dempsey, and his name is Live Free with JD on Instagram. Live Free with JD. That's Jonathan Dempsey. He's a great guy. We spoke on Instagram a few weeks ago, and I just haven't been able to bring it up on the podcast because I've been having guests on, but I want to have him on next season. And he runs his own Instagram page and runs his own YouTube page over there, and I've been watching his videos, and he's got some good stuff going on. He's a young up and coming guy in Philadelphia, and he's into real estate. So we're gonna have him on. We're gonna get talks with him. I'm more of the construction side of real estate. He's more of the white collar networky kind of real estate guys. So we're gonna have him on. We're gonna pick his brain. Either if we can't have him on Zoom, we'll just have him in person, hopefully. So give him a follow. Live Free with JD, and tell him I sent you. And then finally, we have another free ad here. And this girl is actually, as we speak, designing my new logo for Rich from the Net. Her name is Jess Quinlan, and her website is jqcreativeservices.com. She does everything over there, honestly. Like, she's amazing. She's super timely, does work unbelievably fast, unbelievably skillfully. And with little direction. She can just pick it out of the air. She does photos. She does video editing. She does, quality design. She does lifestyle stuff. She does portraits. She does content. She is from Miami, and she lives in South Florida. So, no, she's not from Miami. I'm sorry. She's from New Jersey. And she currently lives in Miami and South Florida right now. So if you're in that area, go to jqcreativeservices.com for any and all photo, video, creative editing needs. That is all of the ads I have here. I have one more suggestion coming in next week, so please, I'm going to get back to a regular basis, and please follow along. Hit the comment, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, whatever you can do to promote going here forth. Now, this is the housekeeping episode. I am still on my study of money. I have 15 books left. I'm super excited. I remember when I was 15 books in. Now I'm 15 books left, and it feels amazing. I really didn't think I could read 15 books. I really didn't think I had it in me. I honestly don't know how I have gotten this lucky to be this far into the study of money, but I do think I'm going to see a very bright side coming out of it. So I wanted to get into it. First off, what have I been getting into? Before I, start talking about all these books here, what have I been getting into? I'm doing a fitness challenge over on my other podcast at Free Will with Paige over there. We're currently, I think, 4 weeks into our fitness challenge. We have another month and a half or so left, whoever can lose the most weight. We're just trying to get fit for summer. I am currently in talks with Ben and his cousin Chrissy. We're going to be getting a shore house for this summer, so we want to be looking good. That's why I'm doing this. Like, we want to be, fit, ready to go. And I can talk about that a little bit more. Basically, it's kind of cool thing that we're doing. So everyone gets a shore house in the summer, and whether or not it's at the place where you guys frequently visit, have it be Sea Isle, have it be Avalon, everyone gets a shore house for the summer. And they hang out with the same regular people at the same regular bar, have the same regular drinks, go to the same regular beach, do the same regular thing every weekend. They're weekenders. They pay for the whole month, and they have people working down the shore. Like sometimes, like if you're a teacher, you can have your summers down there, be a lifeguard or whatever, have a waitress job, and just enjoy your summers down the shore, and then have your house be paid for by the weekenders. But what we're doing now is a little bit different. We're going to a beach where we don't know anyone, and we're creating our own summer amongst ourselves in our own little bubble. So what we have decided to do is, and I hope people will follow us, is we're going to be summering in Asbury. It's a lot of people don't know this. Avalon and Sea Isle are 2 hours away from Philadelphia. Asbury is 1 hour away from Philadelphia. It's a great up-and-coming shore town. It's beautiful. I mean, it's gentrified. It used to be pretty slummy, but they got the Hurricane Sandy relief bill, and they just built monster mansions on the beach that are just sick to look at, and they just create so much, uppity buzz around that, with the businesses and the bars and the nightlife. So with that being said, we are ordering a shore house, and we're going to be going down there on the weekends. But we said we don't want to just go down and drink every weekend. We want to do something and enrich ourselves a little bit, which is I am all for. Like, that is my favorite thing to do, is just add a little something, add a little spice, add a little flair, add a little originality to what everyone usually does. So what we are going to do is we each pick an activity, a solo activity that can be enjoyed by us, and we have to do it at least once a weekend. So I picked surfing, Chrissy has picked yoga, and Ben is still deciding whether or not he's going to do skateboarding or fishing, like surf fishing or something like that. And that's awesome. I even thought he could do like running or beach running or like something like that. Just something to stay active, something to keep our minds going, something to look forward to that's new and fun, and is a skill that you can pick up, which is amazing. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be nice, relaxing, quiet summer, and we're going to enjoy it. And plus, the prices are down because of COVID, so might as well take advantage of that. Okay, if you guys haven't seen any of the solo episodes, you've just been tuning in to the guest episodes, what Rich from the Net is basically all about is bettering yourself. And the first season, I have chosen to do a study of money, where I read 50 books on finance, managerial mindset, leadership, entrepreneurship, real estate, and investing. So I have gotten 35 books in, and I just want to give a little update. I'm sure I'm going to do an episode where I talk about how all of these books have affected me and changed my way of thinking now. But I want to just start with a few of the books, and I picked them here and there. And when I get more technical in season 2, I'm going to be leaving like lists. I'm going to be having a website up. I'm going to be selling various merch and stuff that goes along with my, podcast here. I'm going to be doing like t-shirts. I'm going to be selling my cooking book that I'm making. And I'm going to be sharing. Maybe I'll do blog posts here and there. Who knows? I'll be sharing my advertisers, and then even hopefully, all things go well, I will be doing exclusive content. I want this to be my job. I want this podcast to become my 9 to 5. I want to be able to devote my 110% time and attention to podcasting and content creation. But I realize that I have to give you a good product first and foremost. So, getting into the study of money here. I read all these books so you guys don't have to. I want to just start off here. I read a book. It was called Daily Rituals. Now, this book was crazy. So what happened was, in this book, they talked about a 50 or 100 creative-minded people who it requires a lot of new, forward, different type of thinking to come out of them. It was people such as mathematicians, people such as writers, people such as research writers, poets. Artists, any type of creative mindset that you need to be sitting down and putting something into the world via your mind, via your paintbrush, via your pen, via your music, anything like that. So what they did was they basically went through their daily habits. They went through their daily rituals, and what I gathered from most of these people is there is a substance or two involved in that creative process, whether it be like coffee, whether it be a drug like cocaine. A lot of them were on stimulants. Some were on alcohol. Some really had to get their mind to a certain state as to where they were able to produce a spectacular piece of art, of material. So that is one thing that I really learned, is that you have to find your mix of drugs and your concoction and your thing, and be disciplined in that. So if having 2 cups of coffee in the morning and not eating till 12 is how you are able to perform at your utmost highest peak, or whatever you want to call it, then do that. Then do it, stick to it, get rigid with it, and don't deviate, because the second you deviate, you don't create anything worthwhile. By the way, do you guys like my my festive Christmas gear? I am dressed up for you guys. All right. The next book I read, and this is in no particular order, but is The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. That was all about finding the blueprint of, I think it was. Let me see. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. So it was all about figuring out the blueprint of your mind. Basically, are you able to Are you able to get honest with yourself and realize the deep depths and reasons as to why? I'm sorry. God, I was thirsty. Are you able to get like honest with yourself and get deep into the blueprints of your mind and figure out how and why you spend the money you do, and how and why you do these conscious, subconscious, self-saboteur ways of not becoming a millionaire. They say the millionaire mind is embedded into everyone, but it's the blueprint around that stops people from thinking that they deserve $1 million, thinking that they deserve to keep $1 million. The lottery winners often don't keep their millions for a multitude of reasons, and one of those reasons is because they tell their mind that they don't deserve what they have. So they go along and they take a couple years and spend it, and then they're broke, back to square one, because no one programmed into them that they were deserving of $1 million, and no one told them that they were worthy of keeping it. So that's something that you have to go back and you have to see, as a kid, were you taught that money was dangerous to have? Were you taught that money should be a sacred thing that you should hold on to, that you should hoard? How did you how was your relationship first initially formed around money and around relationships involving money? So the next thing is The Power of Broke. I read that. That's the Damon John book. I love this book. This book, for anyone that has, one, tried to sell t-shirts, but two, less specifically, for anyone that is in almost poverty or close to poverty, this is a way to get out of it. I mean, his story on how his mom took out a second mortgage just so he didn't fall into the streets and get swept up by a gang is just insane. And then two, how he was able to construpulate something out of nothing. So he was able to, hustle, and then, buy a van. There's a lot of stuff that goes before that, but, buy t-shirts, learn how to sew his own t-shirts just so he could get by it. So then he can hire seamstresses, all this, and eventually sell at boutiques, sell at on the side of the road, and eventually get recognition. I'm skipping a lot of steps, but get recognition by MTV guys and music video people. It's pretty cool. I think everyone should read The Power of Broke. And plus, I love Sway in the Morning. I love Sway, and I think he did a great job at reading it. I listened to this one on tape when I was in work. So that was good. Next is Radical Honesty. I really like this one. This is a guy, a psychologist, who wrote this book. He is an old timer, and he talks about his own life, how he was married a few times, how he just was super into his relationships. He was into how if you don't fix one part of the relationship, another part gets inversely affected. If you don't fix one side of the relationship, another side gets inversely affected. So, say you have a good relationship with your work, that may mean you have a good relationship at home. Say you have a bad relationship at home, that could mean that you have a bad relationship with individuals at work and vice versa. So you have to. He gave examples through like couples not being able to have sex. They, where his hat's itchy as fuck. They were, differing on certain things, resenting each other for certain things, and that translated to bad sex life. They thought it was the sex life, but it turns out that they, were resenting each other for certain stuff, maybe, stuff out of their control. So they had to learn that they were actually resenting it for that, and then letting go was another process, and then eventually they could get back to normal and love each other for their flaws. It's a really good psych book that everyone should read. I really think it helps a lot. Then we have The Science of Mindfulness. And this one's heavy on the meditation, preaching the meditation. I actually took that up. I have an app called Waking Up. And every morning for about 15-20 minutes, I play the app as I rise out of bed. I sit down. I have a chair right next to my bed. And I sit down and I read and I listen. And it basically wakes my mind up. It gets me ready for the day. It starts me off with a good base, something to keep in the back of my mind. And it's just calming. It calms you, and you feel happy to start the day. You never get off on the bad side of the bed. Then I read, this is in order, so I don't know. Then I read, the next was a recommendation from my buddy Billy, who was on episode 10.1, I believe. And it was The Alchemist. And this is a cool story about how you can turn nothing into something. That there is, it's a metaphor for entrepreneurism. I took it as that, and it talks about how you can turn, bronze into gold, how you can turn, metal into gold, and through hard work, sacrifice, and being the smartest person in the room, you can turn something into gold, which is really cool. Then I think I talked about this on one of the podcasts. It was called the 4-Hour Work Week, and that taught you that you can, basically there's a million ways to delegate activities that you wouldn't even think you could delegate. But here's what I learned while reading it, and you can't just be a normal guy and just start, applying these tactics that you read in the 4-Hour Work Week, and it works out well. You have to have something, a drive, a motivation, or a product that you need to get out to people, that people want. Don't get me wrong, that people want, that people should buy. That's a quality product at a reasonable price. But this just gives you techniques on how to push that product while you're not necessarily financially there yet. So if you listen to them and maybe follow the steps in the right order for you, then you can eventually, have a 4-hour work week and not have a boss, which is ultimately, that's the rat race. That's the getting out of the rat race, and that's our goal here. So let's get out of the rat race. Like, to be honest, I think it's almost time, man. I'm 24. I'm not getting any younger. My back sometimes goes. I want to get super fucking fit. I'm on my way, but I want to be able to, go to the gym when I wake up. I want to be able to, but I can't do that if you have a job. If you have a job, you're on someone else's time. You're on borrowed time, So next is Gorilla Mindset. Gorilla Mindset. Out of all the books, I think this one made a lot of sense to me. I think this is a really good one, guys. I think you need to all go there. It tells you the importance of your body and your mind. Like it tells you that you have to have a healthy body, a healthy gut biome in specific, to be able to have your brain perform for you at the utmost capacity. So what that means is, what I took from it was, have your gut health. It starts with your gut health. It starts with your diaphragm, your breathing. It starts with your nervous system in general. So you have to take your vitamins. You have to get to bed at a certain time. You have to meditate. You have to not have all this extra clutter in your body in the physical sense. So take your vitamins, have a healthy gut, get your nootropic drugs, and that's a new thing that I learned about, is that there's vitamins out there that help your brain function better. I didn't know that. I always thought like vitamin C or like vitamin D is just like something from the sun, or like something you get out of strawberries or something. And no, it's not, because there's a certain vitamins out there that you can pick up at your drugstore that cause you to be sharper. And I've done it. Like I'm about 2 or 3 months into taking these. My body's fully acclimated to the nootropic drugs, and it even increases your speech. It increases your ability to articulate better. It increases, your, what's it called when you like can pronounce words better and at a higher rate, and when you can constrapulate your thoughts in a clear, concise, timely manner. I think that's amazing. I cannot preach nootropic drugs in unison with good diet, in unison with healthy working out and healthy lifestyles. The main thing that I never really thought about was your gut health. I always just like put in more food, don't be hungry, go to the gym, take a run, and you'll be fine. But no, that's not the case here. That is, it taught me a lot. So get a healthy gut, guys. Finally, I read Trump's book, okay? This is a controversial one, being that he just lost in the presidency. Today is, let me see here, December 9th. He just lost in November. He's trying to appeal it, blah, blah, blah. But he wrote this book in his 40s. He's about 70 now. So this is 30 years before he probably was even thinking about going into his presidency. And what I learned from his book, The Art of the Deal, is that you have to be thinking forward. He was in real estate, which is, sometimes you're even making 20-year deals. So you have to think for how you're going to tie up your money for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years. I mean, obviously there's always ways to get out of it. It's expensive if you terminate a contract for its expiration date. But it tells you that if you are in the real estate game, you have to think about what your next moves are going to be. You have to be playing chess for 10 years. And that's another thing that's not on the docket that I'd love to talk about. The Queen's Gambit. I have always been a chess guy. I love the sport, if you can call it that. I always played. I started playing when I was probably in second grade, maybe. But it's one of those things. It's like it's not like riding a bike where you just stay the level you are at when you play. You have to constantly fine tune and sharpen your skills. There's many ways other than playing to do that, but the best way to do it is to play. So I watched this show on Netflix called The Queen's Gambit. It's about this girl named Beth Harmon, and she is just sick at chess. Like an orphan, just has nothing but chess in the blood. Doesn't know who her parents are. And, just gets dirty at chess. Absolutely filthy. And it reinvigorated my love for chess because, some of us don't even really... Some of us out there, I really think, don't really give a shit about how they're consuming media, what they're putting into their brain. And that is just something I honestly think that I honestly think down the road, after seeing my grandmother forget what year it was by 20 years in the neurologist's office, which is not a place you want to do that at. It has almost frightened me to the point where I kind of just want to throw as much information into my brain, whatever sticks to the wall. And then when I become that age where I start losing it, hopefully I'll have enough as to where I'll be able to function with the knowledge that I do have. I came into this world with 3 learning disabilities, and I don't talk about that much. So, this is going off on a tangent, but so basically when I was young, it wasn't severe, but I was having trouble focusing, getting good grades in school. A lot of factors, went into it, but ultimately I was diagnosed with dyslexia, ADD, not DH. I don't think I had DH. And auditory processing disorder, meaning that when I heard something, when someone says something, I just heard a different thing. And that's the simplest way I can explain it. Someone says blue, everyone hears blue, but I hear green. You know what I mean? So if someone is behind me and they say turn left, I'll turn right because that's what I heard. Now, is this a way for me to, slack off an excuse for, just being stupid? Yeah, sometimes. But, no one has really ever described me as stupid. So, if that's the case, then no, I don't think it is. I think it's just one of those gray area things where no one really can figure it out. No one knows why these things happen. No one can explain exactly why people are given certain disabilities. You know what I mean? I'm very fortunate. I could have had a lot worse disability, so I am happy with the ones that I got, and I'm sure everyone says that, but that's how I feel. And I know sometimes I make jokes about people with disabilities, but that's because I have my own, and I lived with my own. I conquered my own, and that brings me to my next book, The Man's Search for Meaning. This is about a guy that was in the Holocaust. His name was Dr. I can't remember his name. He was a neurosurgeon, Jewish neurosurgeon in Germany, something like that. So he's in the Holocaust, and he gets put in the concentration camp. And he gets put in a rather large concentration camp where they're killing a lot of the Jewish people. And I actually think in 2 days from now, Hanukkah starts. So, Shalom Shabbat. Shalom. Love you guys. And what I learned from is that someone always has it worse. Someone like you could be doing great, and then boom, you have a shit hand. But that shit hand is like a fucking full house to someone else with an even more shit hand. So that's why I count my blessings with my disability. Oh, lost my headphones. Hey, sorry about that. That's why I count my blessings with my disabilities, because look at the number of disabilities that other people have, impairments that other people have. So what happened was when he was in Auschwitz, in the Holocaust, he was at a concentration camp and, just wanted to die. Like, he was like thinking he was going there every day, like couldn't, like they were barely feeding him. It was just such a sad time. So what they would do is, like, they couldn't kill these Jewish people fast enough in the concentration camps. So they'd, which is crazy to say, but they were transporting them on trains to, different places. And one of the camps that they were transporting to him actually was passing by this doctor's house. And the only source of joy that people were getting that day, or that life in the concentration camp, was having a window seat at the train. But the window seat wasn't a window. It was, you were standing and you were looking through a crack, seeing the countryside of Germany, the countryside of Europe, through a crack of a hole. They were transporting them in cargo containers. They didn't even get seats. They just didn't consider these guys people anymore. And he realized that he was going to pass his house, and he asked the person, "Can I see my house for one last time? We're going to pass it." And they said, and the other Jew says, "No. Like, this is what I get. You don't get to have that." And that was just, I don't know, for some reason when I read that, I was like, wow, like, they were in such bad conditions. They were treated like such animals that even when they all thought they were going to die, no one was there to save them. So even when, they all thought they were having it the worst, he was actually having it the worst, because he wasn't able to get, the pleasure of just seeing his house, just looking at his house for like a second through a crack. Someone always has it worse. And that's really what I learned. Be grateful for what you have. I mean, this book really made me get allergic to people who complain. Like, when someone starts complaining, I just kind of write them off at this point. I'm just like, I don't want to hear your complaint. I just don't, save it. Fucking save it. Bye. I'll listen to it, but bye. Later, fucking loser. Okay. Let's bring it back a little bit. I read The Magic of Thinking Big, but I can't remember. I have to go back and refresh my memory. Some of these books are starting to bleed together. They sometimes talk about the same things. The good thing about it is I've only heard the same analogy once, so not bad. And it could have been by the same author, because some of these books are by the same author. Long Distance Real Estate. That is a book that I read, and it's a Bigger Pockets book, and I think that Bigger Pockets is pretty good. It really commercialized real estate investing, and it made a community on there. They have forums, blogs, podcasts, which I have yet to dive into, but I will eventually once I stop my study of money and really give real estate my full attention. Guys, I am still taking my realtor's license. I am about 66% done that. So, keeping you posted. But long distance real estate really taught me that you have to be able to communicate well with people, and in specific, people that aren't in front of you. You have to learn the art of email. You have to learn the art of text. You have to learn the art of phone calls, callbacks, follow-ups, stuff like that. You have to learn the art of conversing with different types of people, such as contractors, such as investors. The next one is, let's break this up for a little bit. Let me go to some of my questions here. I put out a question on my Instagram, and it was an overwhelming. I didn't think this was a good question, but a lot of people voted. About 20 something people voted. My question was, if you are wearing a mask and it's cold outside and your glasses fog up, are you just generally weak, or are you is it natural selection? And this is my thought process behind this, and everyone voted for natural selection, and I understand why, because I don't think it makes you necessarily weak, but if the pandemic, if there were still like dinosaurs, if we weren't an apex predator and COVID was a thing and people were having to wear masks, you would get killed. You wouldn't be able to see the predator that's right in front of you and, fire your gun back or something, If there were aliens and COVID's about, you have to wear a mask during a fight or something, which you probably wouldn't during like a war. You would just worry about not getting it. But, if COVID was like such a more serious thing and you had bad eyesight, you would be killed. And the only reason I say that is because I myself have had bad eyesight. I had the surgery. In another 10, 20 years, I'll probably need another surgery. But I had LASIK done. So I basically have had it reversed through science. Natural selection proved to me that people have evolved and gotten smarter, as to where they can improve a dum-dum like me's eyesight to perfect, thus increasing my ability to thrive in natural selection. Is that artificial? I don't know. Is that like false natural selection? Maybe, but here is my rebuttal to that. I think I have the height. I think I have the physicalness of someone who's superior. I think I'm above average in height. I'm above average in weight. I'm above average in strength. I'm above average in entrepreneurism. Stuff like that. So, yes, I do think the fogging up of glasses is not really an issue in civilized society, but what if we weren't that civilized, and what if COVID was a lot worse? It would definitely, and you had to wear a mask, like, you're not going to be able to see a predator. Like, it's fucking cold out and you're fogging up. Take off your glasses, you're blind. Boom. Fuck. I'm sorry, guys. Didn't mean to dampen your mood like that, okay? But that's how it works. And is it called being a pussy? Kind of. But, there's some people that I respect out there that have glasses. The Richest Man in Babylon. Great fucking book. Everyone go read it. I'm just going to tell you it's about entrepreneurism. That's it. Plain and simple. Loved that book. I already talked about that. Gary Vee. I've been a fan of Gary Vee's internet presence. Please just everyone go listen to Crushing It on audible.com or iBooks.com or Apple iBooks, because they have certain stuff I have the book as well. They have certain stuff in the book in the audio version that they don't have in the book. I've talked about Confessions of an Economic Hitman at length on a previous podcast. Then I have also talked about, have I talked about Dichotomy of Leadership by Jocko Willink? Jocko Willink is a Navy SEAL commander that I'm obsessed with. He's just like a hardworking man, badass. Basically, he does a lot of things, but I love just like his way about going and doing them. He wakes up at 4:30. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. He sells gis. He's got an energy drink. He does books, engagements. He's in the military. He does consulting, echelon front. He's such a fucking beast of a guy and has started so many successful things that it's worth just following his career at this point. Just for pure, motivation. Oh, I almost drowned right there. Whew. Also on Fuck Yourself, I read, but I have to refresh myself on that. I think that one was kind of just basic. I think that on Fuck Yourself was kind of just like, it's one of those self-help books where it's just like got a cool name and that's all the cachet it has. But yeah, guys, I'm already 51 minutes in and I want to thank you guys so much. And I also want to take this time right now to just get you guys hype for the next coming podcasts. I'm going to be doing a lot of drawings. I'm going to be doing, not drawings. A lot of like promotional stuff. And hopefully I don't crowd it up too much. But I write these notes in my phone all the time. And I just want to read some of them and see if you guys are interested. Talked about this on one of the other podcasts, but I went to the chiropractor. I had a bad back for a little bit. He fixed me. And my story is going to be that I got COVID because I left him hanging on my third visit, and it's just too much money. It's like an elective procedure, so my insurance doesn't cover it, which is gay. But I watched a video on YouTube. On this podcast, I had this thought today because I was listening to Joe Rogan, and he has today he had a investigative journalist from Nat Geo on his podcast who went into these dangerous situations. I'm not gonna be doing any of that, but one of these dangerous situations like human trafficking and like drug cartels all over the world for the pure reason of journalism and informing, not like police work or anything. So she could have been in hairy situations. So I'm gonna think about it, but I want to use this platform. I want to become I always say I want to become a lot of things, and my whole thing is if I say it enough and get the wheels turning just enough, I can turn something into nothing. I can be an alchemist, and I want to become almost like a podcast investigator, like an investigative podcaster. I want to boots on the ground. I want to go out and experience. That's why I'm doing the study of money, because I'm going to be applying these tactics. I forgot to talk about the Intelligent Investor. real quick, basically the Intelligent Investor revised edition. It's a super dry book, but it taught me to only, if you're going to invest in stocks, just invest in an index fund that on average goes up 10% a year. That's it, period. I mean, keep it in there for a period of time. If you put, say, I don't know, $1 in keep it in for 10 years, it goes up 10%. In 10 years, you have $2. So you double your money in 10 years. How hard is that to do? I think anyone would be psyched to be able to double their money in 10 years. It goes up 100%, like, you know what I mean? Like, no brainer. But I want to become like a little bit of, I know I say I'm going to do a lot of these things. Like, one, I want to involve myself in the 12-step stuff. I think once this becomes my job, I'm going to be able to be like out and about, boots on the ground, getting into these certain predicaments. But I think I have another couple of years of working, grinding it out before I can totally say that this is my job. And it's getting these things started, like my website, getting my merch going, attaining a following, and getting people interested. So if anyone is out there that's still listening, we're at the 56-minute mark. I know podcast retention is not very much, but if there's anyone that listens to these full podcasts, please, 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 please reach me out. Reach out to me and talk to me. Let me know how I'm doing here. Let me know what you'd like to see, because I think the investigations that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be like doing like dark web stuff. I am already a deep guy. I want to get conspiratorial, but I'm already a deep guy into the YouTube realm. So I want to like see what more the internet has to offer me. So as I learn to do the drop shipping and the website kind of stuff, which will come naturally, I already have kind of a hand in it because I used to do it back in college. But for myself, it is different. I think, and maybe it's just me being a pussy. Maybe it's just me feeling that I don't have the momentum. Maybe it's me feeling that my blueprint isn't there yet. Maybe it's a tortured artist type situation. But I will get there, and even by me being aware of that, I will get more investigative for you guys. I will get more involved, and I will get more serious and business-like about it. A lot of people lack that, and the fact that I'm 24 right now, I got a lot of time. So I feel like the sooner I get it done, the happier I'll be later the better content you guys will enjoy. When open mics become a thing, I'm gonna be going up on open mics and talking about this stuff. So I want to keep this one out. But I had a funny thing the other day. I was in the beer store with my buddy. We were getting some craft beers. And, he's in real estate, pretty deep involved. He's an analysis guy, numbers guy in the real estate realm. And he basically, I turned to him nonchalant on a Friday night, getting beer, gonna have a good weekend. Hey, how much do you think this beer store is worth? We're in a good neighborhood. What do you think it's worth? $1 million, $1.2 million? And he turns to me dead serious, looks me in the eye, then looks over my shoulder at the door like he has somewhere else more important to be, doesn't really want to give me a straight ball answer, and he goes, I don't know. I'd have to look at the numbers. It's like, dude, I'm your boy here. Just give me a fucking guess. Like, you do this shit for a living. Like, this is what you do. Like, you should be able to. Someone asks you in the elevator, how much is it worth? If they're gonna sell it to you, boom, here's your number. That's all I was looking for. And he says, I don't know, is there a lease on it? Like, what are the tenants looking at? Like, dude, I'm not asking for an exact number. So do any of you guys have friends like that? Like, they just don't understand the art of the bullshit. You know what I mean? The art of the bullshit is something that I definitely have, acquired throughout the years, and slowly I'm getting away from it, but it's something you gotta be able to tap into at a moment's notice. You know what I mean? You can't just be serious guy all the time. Like, I'm never, to be honest, I love joking around. Like, that's my favorite thing in the world. So, all right, guys, that's my hour. I love you guys so much. Please like, subscribe. Go listen to my the beginning of the episode and get my ads. And give all those guys a follow. Tell them I sent you. Thanks again. This is Rich from the Net, episode 20. Like, comment, subscribe. And one last final slurp. All right, guys. Thanks. Love you. Peace.